So, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as we navigate the complexities of the modern era, it is essential that we return to the very foundation of halal, which represents a holistic view of life, grounded in cleanliness, halalan tayyiban, integrity and accountability. What is to me unique, Jil, Farid, for this generation, a unique one, is precisely because it talks about accountability. It talks about environment, creating a very clean, healthy industry. It talks about accountability because it is embedded in our belief and conviction that finally we are accountable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we must be reminded, therefore, the saying or remark by the renowned muhaddith Sufyan bin Uyayna, a person does not truly attain the essence of faith until he makes what is halal a shield between himself and what is haram, and until he refrains from sin and similar acts. It is an encompassing, comprehensive view of what trade, investments, and commodities are about. It's not just motivation for profit, which is essential in any trade and business, but it is therefore again embedded on the core principles and values, which is clearly part and parcel of the Madani framework in our understanding of economics. You know, values, compassion, integrity, accountability is not diminishing its importance because of pure greed and political expediency, even in our decision to promote trade or our decision on any international issues, including the problems and calamities facing Palestinians in Gaza. That shows the flaw, a deficit in our understanding what justice is all about, what cleanliness is about, what is halal is all about, and of course, justice. So it is important, therefore, to look at the very essence and meaning of this halal and tayyiban. It is not only in terms of what is forbidden in the fiqh sense, in the sense of jurisprudence, but an encompassing, all-encompassing, comprehensive view what trade, business, and life is all about. So therefore it is infused, if it is infused with this holistic concept, then the halal industry today has evolved significantly beyond food and beverages, encompassing the entire spectrum of Sharia-compliant sectors, not the least being healthcare and medicine, cosmetics, tourism, and Islamic finance. Now, this growing ecosystem reflects a broader commitment to integrity, ethics, and faith-based values across global markets. And if I can extend the argument further, it is the best practical showcase what da'wah is all about. Giving a message through our actions, our character, and our belief in issues of integrity and accountability. So the halal industry, therefore, has consistently been a vital sector contributing to Malaysia's economic development. And because of its universal appeal to all segments of society, halal products and services are now an increasingly popular choice among consumers, including those in predominantly non-Muslim countries. We have given the list just now what we have achieved in the last 2 days, and amazingly, of course, from Middle East, Arab countries, UAE, for example, but an outstanding support from our colleagues, business and trade from China that have excelled because of the requirements. And can you imagine these days, after decades of effort now, as I said and alluded to earlier, notwithstanding countries and background, we have enormous support. And because of the need to promote trade and business. So beyond that, therefore, there is growing phenomenon of Muslim tourists frequenting popular destinations worldwide because of the expansion of options of halal products and services. So I believe with time, inshallah, more non-Muslim countries will recognize the necessity of halal certified products beyond food and the hospitality services to incorporate Islamic finance, pharmaceuticals, cosmetics, and healthcare. So again, I reiterate the point that halal is more than just a label. It is an international symbol of trust. To date, we have close to 10,000 companies comprising more than 80% of small and medium enterprises have been certified by JAKIM based on their compliance and comprehensive halal standards. I must congratulate and thank Deputy Prime Minister Zahid for since he's holding the helm. We have seen this accelerated pace of approvals and higher standards imposed. Can you imagine? Higher standards, stricter monitoring, and yet a faster pace of approval, about 2 weeks of approval, compared to 6 months in the past. So thank you. You can stay on that. So as a testament of global acceptance, the Malaysian halal trademark has been registered and recognized in nearly 50 countries, while JAKIM also collaborates with more than 80 accredited halal certification bodies from 45 countries. So going forward, the MATRADE government will continue to proactively position the halal industry as a key contributor to the national economy, particularly in trade. In every investment mission and bilateral engagement, I must say this, without exception, whether it is Muslim majority countries, non-Muslim countries, whatever, Malaysia positions halal as a universal economic model, and again will be part of the bilateral discussions between leaders. And this is, of course, to me, a rare achievement for the country and for the halal industry. For example, at the recent Kazan Forum, I highlighted Malaysia's expertise in halal certification and offered our support to strengthen global halal standards. At the BRICS Leaders Summit in Brazil, I urged both Brazilian and Malaysian companies to seize the business opportunity in the halal industry. And of course, with the support of our friend, President Lula of Brazil. In the Global Islamic Economic Indicator, GIEI ranking, Malaysia has maintained its top position for 11 consecutive years. Thanks not only to the support of the Malaysian industry and Malaysian ministries, but thanks to your support, those present here from so many countries. Malaysia's excellence is particularly evident in Islamic finance, halal food, as well as media and recreation. This is a result of the government's concerted effort to position the halal industry as one of the central pillars of the nation's strategic growth. So the Halal Industry Master Plan 2030 and the New Industrial Master Plan 2030 set out a clear pathway to position Malaysia as the world's leading halal hub. I must stress that the drivers of the growth of the halal industry are the micro, small and medium enterprises. Hence, the MATRADE government will continue to implement very strategic initiatives to strengthen their role and standing in the global market. Under the 13th Malaysia Plan, significant funds are allocated to further boost the growth of the halal sector. In return, the sector is projected to contribute 231 billion ringgit or 10.8% to the national GDP by 2030, driven by strong demand in food, finance and tourism. By way of comparison, the global halal market is valued at over 16.02 trillion ringgit and is expected to reach 22.88 trillion by 2030. I hope the figures consistent with what Zafrul announced just now. Because for projections, projections are projections. Sometimes we achieve the target, sometimes we surpass, sometimes we below target. But for us, we're quite realistic in our projections. Sometimes better than the World Bank and the IMF. Now, in terms of trade targets, based on the robust national policies and the track record of MIHAS, exports of halal products and services are set to reach 80 billion ringgit by 2030. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the government has strongly encouraged Malaysian companies to embrace the digitalization in trade to remain globally competitive. By leveraging digital technologies, Malaysian companies can enhance operational efficiency, broaden market reach, and unlock new opportunities in the digital economy and cross-border trade. On this note, I am pleased to share that MIHAS 2025 will fully leverage the Madani Digital Trade Platform and artificial and intelligence-driven platform designed to optimize cross-border business matching, particularly for Malaysian halal exporters and importers, including micro, small and medium enterprises. With the support of advanced technologies such as big data analytics, cloud computing and AI, MDT is poised to evolve into an intelligent trade platform and ultimately become a true game changer for Malaysia's halal industry. So I urge, therefore, the international community and those business enterprises and representatives present here to embrace halal as a system of values, one that champions ethical consumption, social justice, human dignity, and environmental sustainability. We must empower the public to be ethical consumers, support halal entrepreneurs to penetrate global markets, and build a new generation of halal professionals, experts, not only in religious knowledge, but also in food science, technology, engineering, and law. In closing, let me say this. It has not been an easy journey to bring Malaysia's halal industry to its current standing. We applaud those initiators, particularly I think our late Tun Abdullah Badawi, for taking this initiative, having that vision, which was certainly a major challenge at that time. But we are fortunate, alhamdulillah, that successful achievements have been seen, but it would not have been possible without the efforts and sacrifices of all parties involved. I greatly appreciate the leadership of my colleague, Deputy Prime Minister Zahid Hamidi, who is clearly very focused and at times quite obsessed with the whole halal industry, and is quite helpful. Thank you. Again, my profound appreciation to MITI, MATRADE, JAKI, HDC, JSM, and UPM for their commitment and dedication successfully organizing MIHAS and MIHAS. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Not be underestimated. The past few months proved that no country is an island and that geopolitics goes hand in hand with geoeconomics. Malaysia-US tariff negotiation was a complex, challenging process. Among the issues raised was our own halal certification, which was deemed a form of non-tariff barrier. But the Cabinet decided that our halal standards were a red line to be defended, and defend it we did, with MITEC spearheading Malaysia's negotiating team, while we agreed to the facilitation of the import process for certain halal certified products into Malaysia. We stood firm on maintaining our world-class, world-leading halal standards. Clearly, the halal industry is not a purely national or bilateral affair. Islam is a global religion, with 2 billion Muslims globally and a $3.5 trillion global halal market and set to grow to $5 trillion by 2030. Multilateral cooperation in the global halal industry should be very important for us. Next, the how. The how is also equally important. On a larger scale, how we develop our societies and economies will impact the world and determine our collective future. Strengthening the Muslim world economically, sustainably, and inclusively will also strengthen our hand, more so at a time when we must make our voices heard on certain global stages. The halal industry can help us achieve all this. In fact, halal goods and services are increasingly procured by people of all faiths and cultures, not just Muslims. Furthermore, at a time of growing trade protectionism and armed conflicts, the halal industry can buck the trend by doubling down on multilateral cooperation. As Muslims, we can, and I dare to say, it's important for us to show the rest of the world that there is a better path than the one we are on. I believe this can be done in 3 ways. First, reform multilateral institutions like the WTO, restore its appellate body to inject certainty and equity into trading rules, modernize those rules into account for digital trade, sustainability standards, and possibly even state-owned enterprises, bring more developing economies into rule-making processes, embed inclusivity and equitability into trade, which effectively are halal principles promoting fair commerce. Next, develop better cooperation mechanisms between economic blocs. Within that, promote the concept of supply chain diplomacy and even multilateral currency strategy for sectors such as semiconductors, energy, critical minerals, and food. Because trade and supply chains are so intertwined among economies, we must shape trade into a stabilizing force to prevent it from being a blackening tool. Third, ethical and sustainable principles in goods and services has become the norm today. Can we embed the same principles in trade agreements and supply chains? Malaysia is ready to lead this. We can reframe halal as the trust-based trade framework, transcending geographical and religious boundaries. That brings me to my next point. Malaysia is uniquely positioned to play a catalytic role in resetting the global trading system through the halal economy. Malaysia can do this not just as a supplier, but as a standard setter, system builder, and bridge maker for ethical trade. Through the Madani economic framework, for example, we are promoting economic reforms and encouraging equitable wealth creation by raising not just our economic ceiling, but also our economic floor to benefit everyone. Aside from redefining global norms around quality, safety, and transparency in supply chains, Malaysia has also shaped global discourse through platforms like the World Islamic Economic Forum, Global Islamic Finance Forum, and also Malaysia's leadership in the World Halal Development Council. All this can shape this platform as a complementary force to the OIC. We may be a small nation, but our voice is not just heard, but also recognized. Our leadership stands tall and most importantly, principled. So in short, we can be the architect of the South-South trade ecosystems. The Global South houses 85% of the world's population, and almost all the Muslim majority countries in the world are in it.
In 3, 2, 1.
supporting businesses to expand globally, opening doors to markets, and strengthening our nation's role in the halal economy. Malaysia's sole Halal Certification Authority, with a pivotal role in safeguarding halal integrity through its globally recognized certification system, recognition of foreign halal certification bodies, and competency training for halal auditors. Building ecosystems, empowering businesses, and fostering international partnerships to support the growth of the halal industry, resulting in opportunities that drive Malaysia's economic and social progress. Advancing international standardization and accreditation with a focus on halal and other strategic sectors, while fostering stronger global collaboration to enhance industry competitiveness. Pioneering research and innovation in halal science, equipping the industry with knowledge that drives progress and sustainability through its Halal Products Research Institute, connecting businesses across borders, expanding opportunities, and showcasing the best of the global halal economy as the world's largest halal showcase. More than an industry, it is a future of shared values and global opportunity. From Malaysia to the world, we move forward united.